In the serene village of Ndu, nestled amidst towering mountains and lush forests, lived a boy named Chima. The village, with its thatched huts and cobblestone pathways, was a picture of peace and tranquility. Chima, a curious and adventurous 15-year-old, was known for his mischievous spirit and insatiable thirst for exploration. Chima lived with his mother, Amora, a gentle and loving woman who had raised him single-handedly after his father died in a hunting accident. Amora, a weaver, was highly respected in the village for her skill and kindness. Despite their modest means, she ensured that Chima never lacked anything. One fateful evening, after a day filled with excitement from discovering a hidden cave in the mountains, Chima returned home to find his mother waiting for him. She had warned him many times about venturing too far into the mountains, fearing the dangers that lurked there. Their argument escalated, fueled by Chima's rebellious nature and Amora's frustration. In a fit of uncontrollable rage, Chima shoved his mother. She stumbled, fell, and hit her head on a stone. The world seemed to stand still as Chima watched in horror. Amora lay motionless, a pool of blood forming around her head. Realizing the gravity of his actions, Chima panicked and fled, disappearing into the dense forest surrounding the village. Chima wandered aimlessly for days, haunted by the image of his mother's lifeless body. He survived on wild fruits and water from mountain streams, grappling with guilt and fear. One night, exhausted and starving, he collapsed near a riverbank. An old hermit named Kofi, who lived in solitude in the mountains, found Chima and nursed him back to health. Kofi, once a revered shaman in a distant village, had retreated into the wilderness to seek peace after losing his family in a tragic accident. Seeing the anguish in Chima's eyes, Kofi took him under his wing, sensing a kindred spirit in the troubled boy. Under Kofi's guidance, Chima learned the ways of the forest, how to hunt, fish, and recognize medicinal plants. More importantly, Kofi taught him about forgiveness, redemption, and the power of inner peace. The bond between them grew strong, and Chima found solace in Kofi's wisdom and the serenity of the mountains. Years passed, and Chima transformed from a guilt-ridden boy into a wise and skilled young man. He knew it was time to confront his past and seek forgiveness from his village. With Kofi's blessing, Chima embarked on the journey back to Ndu. The village had changed over the years, but the memories of that fateful night remained fresh in the minds of its inhabitants. As Chima approached, whispers of his return spread like wildfire. The villagers gathered, curious and wary of the man who had once been a boy among them. Chima stood before them, humble and contrite. He recounted his journey, the lessons he had learned, and the torments he had endured. He begged for their forgiveness, not for himself, but to honor his mother's memory and the teachings of Kofi. Among the villagers was Neka, Amora's sister, who had raised Chima's mother and held a position of great respect. Her heart was heavy with grief and anger, but she listened intently to Chima's story. The village elders convened to decide his fate, with Neka playing a crucial role in the deliberation. After hours of discussion, they agreed to a test of redemption. Chima was to undertake a journey to the sacred mountain, a treacherous path that no one had successfully traversed in centuries. If he could reach the summit and return with the sacred white flower that grew only at its peak, it would signify his true atonement and the village's forgiveness. The journey to the sacred mountain was fraught with peril. Chima faced wild animals, treacherous paths, and harsh weather conditions. He drew strength from Kofi's teachings and the memory of his mother, pushing forward with unwavering determination. At the mountain's peak, Chima found the sacred white flower, glowing in the moonlight. As he plucked it, a sense of profound peace washed over him. He knew he had been forgiven, both by himself and the spirits of the mountains. Chima returned to the village, the sacred flower in hand. The villagers, awed by his feat, welcomed him with open arms. Neka, with tears in her eyes, embraced Chima, acknowledging his redemption. The village elders declared his atonement complete, and Chima was reinstated as a member of the community. With his past behind him, Chima dedicated his life to serving the village, sharing the wisdom he had gained and ensuring that no other child would ever suffer as he had. He rebuilt his mother's house and transformed it into a school, where he taught the children about the importance of peace, forgiveness, and the power of nature. The village of Ndu thrived, with Chima's story serving as a reminder of the power of redemption and the strength of the human spirit. The mountains, once a symbol of his guilt, became a beacon of hope and renewal. This story of Chima, the boy from the mountains, is a tale of tragedy, redemption, and the indomitable spirit of forgiveness. It reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there is always a path to light and a chance for a new beginning. Like and subscribe to this channel, African Stories of Old.